outside homeless. The devil wanted you hungry. The devil wanted you naked. The devil wanted you walking around on this planet looking bummy or like a bum. But God stepped in. And when he stepped in right on time because he's an on-time God. Oh, yes, he is. I'm talking to somebody out there. I'm talking to somebody out there that should have been with I think the old folks used to say it, dead and sleeping in your grave. But God made death behave. Who am I talking to out there? There are people that wanted you dead. For many of us, there are people that still want us dead, but God. The last thing I will ever worry about is who out there wants me dead, because I sure ain't going to die. I'm going to keep on living, and I'm going to live loud, and I'm going to live right in your face. And for many of us, even when we breathe our last breath, you still aren't going to die. Believest thou this? Oh my gosh, take them to the scriptures. Tell them what Jesus Christ said. That if you believe in him, you will never die. You need to tell your enemies, believest thou this? You're not going to die. It doesn't matter what they try to get together to scheme and cook up against you in your life. You're not going to leave this world until God gets ready for you to leave this world. You had an appointed time for your birth, and you have an appointed time for your death. And you're not going to leave here until God get ready. And even when you breathe your last breath, there may be enemies out there that will rejoice, but no need to. No need to, because while they're down here rejoicing over what they felt was your earthly demise, you will be walking the streets of gold, beholding the eyes of the Lord. Oh my gosh, am I talking to somebody? So your enemies still don't win. But still at the same time, you must treat your enemies the way that Jesus treated his. Why? Because you must follow his footsteps. Because it is the Lord that orders your steps. And he will order your steps to walk in the way that his did. You understand? Follow the footsteps of Jesus as you navigate through this thing called life. And you don't have to worry about having to come out of a bag. I mean, you may every now and then have to put people in their place. You might have to come out of a bag. I'm not saying that, people won't push you to the limit, because they will. And I'm definitely not going to be in this conference telling you I won't put somebody in their place, because I'll do it in a New York minute. But this is what I'm saying. Anytime you are faced with a situation that you know is bigger than you and can get out of hand, and you know it's the hand of the devil, you give it to God. You give it to God. Because there are things going on behind the scenes that you don't see, that Jesus Christ does see. And God will strengthen you in your time of need. He will strengthen your character. He will actually indwell within your temple. And he will take charge, because he knows he can't handle this. She can't handle this. They can't handle this. Let me reside in you and operate in you the way that I operate within myself. And then that way, you won't hang yourself like the devil thought you would do, or like the devil wanted you to do. Because let me tell you something. One thing that you can never know is who does or does not really like you. And another thing you don't ever know is who is grinning in your face and conspiring with your enemies behind your back. And for a lot of you, a lot of times people won't come at you because they feel that there's somebody else in the environment that has your back. But as soon as that person leaves that environment, whether they have your back or not, it's just the perception of other people. Watch the devil try you. Watch the devil try you. But the devil will never try you when he feels there's somebody in there that might come to your defense, that will step to him. Especially if it's somebody that's kind of fond of you. Am I talking to somebody out there? Because Satan is a punk. See, he can't take you on when he feels that, he can only take you on when he feels like that you are in a situation by yourself. But you're never by yourself. But see, you know how the devil operates on the 3D. If they don't see nobody, they think you ain't got nobody. But you know what? I beg to differ. Am I talking to somebody out there? Is somebody out there following what I'm saying out here tonight? Because, see, the devil likes to try to catch you when he thinks you by yourself and you don't have no defense. But, see, a lot of us out here are an army within ourselves. We will stand up against anybody in the face of this planet tonight. You understand what I'm saying? That's the power that God has given a lot of us. And he didn't give it to us to abuse it or to walk around on this planet cocky. He gave it to us for us to exercise it when we need it. And when your enemy is standing in your face trying to do something, be formed as a weapon against you, a form of weapon against you, that's when you need it. And especially if it's a large amount of enemies, because there wasn't just one man that came to arrest Jesus. And in our modern world, if you're placed under arrest, most likely it'll be 2 officers that will come. Jesus had a multitude of folks coming at him. Now you imagine that. You imagine that. And everybody that hung out with him ran off and left him there by himself. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking to? Who out there has ever faced a situation and everybody that you thought would be there was not there? Or everybody that nobody could have told you that, oh, well, I know such and such got my back. Or I know they got my back. And I'm not saying I think like that or anything. I mean, I think a lot of us have always, I'll put it like this. Not everybody is fooled by people. You know what I'm saying? But this is what I'm saying. There are those of you out there that may have felt like that there would be certain friends that you had that would have your back. You know, maybe y'all came up together, maybe y'all went to college together, and then when this virus that took over the world, it seems, hit, you couldn't call nobody. It was every man for himself. It was sure enough a dog-eat-dog world then. So God had to teach you some things, that I am your provider, that I am the one that takes care of you. Take no thought for the morrow, because tomorrow will have enough problems of its own. Why try to foresee what might happen? Our lives are in the hands of the Lord. He's got the whole world in his hands. So why worry about tomorrow? Why worry about the next second, the next minute, the next hour? A lot of you out there, you're worried about your enemies. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Rest in the Lord Jesus Christ. For the eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the good and the evil. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about anything. I know it's easier said than done. Of course it is. But I'm talking about a God that created the entire universe. I'm talking about a God that created you and me. I'm talking about a God that created our brain and our heart and our blood and our feet and toes and toenails and hair and eyeballs and all. That's the God I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what God somebody else might be talking about out there. But I know the God that I'm talking about. And the God that I'm talking about is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Can I get a witness out there? Oh my God. I'm talking about the God that parted the Red Sea by the staff of Moses, giving Moses the power. I'm talking about the God that sent all the plagues to Egypt. I'm talking about the God that fed the children of Israel with manna, bread from heaven. I'm talking about the God that told Lazarus to come forth, and Lazarus got up out of the grave. I'm talking about the God that cast 7 devils out of Mary Magdalene. Oh my God. I'm talking about the same God that was there in the day of Pentecost. Oh my God. I'm talking about the same God that gave Apostle Paul the power to do and preach like he did when he walked this earth. That's the God I'm talking about. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The God of the Holy Bible. So like I said, it is that God, the God, no disrespect, it is the God, him, that you should follow. And treat your enemies the way that he treated and does treat his enemies. Because Father causes his sun to shine on the just and the unjust, his rain to come down on the just and the unjust. He feeds everybody, you know. And if there are people that are in lack, ask. And I know there are people out there that are hungry, but it doesn't mean that God doesn't give them the power to persevere and to suffer on through. If they trust in Jesus Christ and they fall asleep in Jesus Christ, even if they starved on this side, they're okay on the other side. There's a mansion laid up for everybody. If you would just go there and claim your house. There's a crown laid up for everybody, a crown of life. If you would just go there and get your crown. There's a long white robe laid up for everybody. If you would just go there and put on your robe. Don't let no devil steal your crown. Don't let no devil steal your robe, your long white robe. Don't let no devil cause you not to see what your house looked like up there. Jesus said, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go, I will come again to receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also. You have to rest in those words. Even, I don't care what you're facing in this world. You have to rest in the words of Jesus Christ that cannot lie. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me. Because you can only come to the Father by way of the sacrifice, the blood sacrifice, the sacrificial lamb, and that's Jesus Christ. Because somebody's got to pay for your sins. And as I've stated in a previous conference, if